Hello.
Hello.
That's Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello.
Or it's also Jon Stewart's impression of Queen Elizabeth II.
We've ruined this entire intro. You have to wait to improv until it's,
That's true.
it's done.
You know what?
I'm more telling me that.
Let's start again. We'll start. Whoa! I have to mute my.
Yeah, I can hear.
Not anymore. There we go.
Welcome to the Antiquing Hour with Ben and Mikey. I am one of your hosts, Mikey Neumann. Here, as always, with the. Wow, shit. What's your name? Ben.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna say Cranston. I don't know why that's the first name.
Brian Cranston.
Hello, I'm TV's movies Bryan Cranston of Power Rangers fame.
Hello, I'm Godzilla's Bryan Cranston. As I'm known.
Yes.
This game looks dope on Game Boy. I'm impressed. I
will be honest with you. This was the first version of Micro Machines I played, other than the Amiga version, because of course I grew up playing the Amiga version.
I only knew the NES version, which I've played with you.
Yeah, we played it at your place.
All night long.
All night long, all night.
Oh, no. So, we didn't do good then. I don't expect us to do good today. Where do you think you're going to get?
Well, it's just me. I don't have your presence dragging me down. So, it's all, the thing is, I'm all dead weight, but the good thing about dead weight is it's good at corners.
How well does it control? Because like NES, like part of the fun was it's just white. What is this demo?
I don't know
doing?
what this demo car thinks. Part of me wants to believe that that's the demo just not playing properly, assuming this is a pre-recorded demo. But this is very clearly. I think that's AI.
It records inputs, and clearly it missed one.
Yeah. And
then it just started playing the inputs.
Yeah. It's like, remember, whenever you would watch like one of the pack-in demos on Doom, on a later build of Doom, and it would desync after like 20 seconds. So you've got the guy just like blasting rockets into a wall that's 3 feet away from him.
Correct.
The end. Hey, how about I play it?
Yeah, well, we got 37 people in the room.
We do.
Not bad.
Hi, 37 people.
38. Sorry, excuse me.
There's only one of me. There's only one Ben Paddon.
Alright, remember, if you want to ask us questions, do add FilmJoy so we can see it. It's just easier. There's a lot of chat. Things gonna get crazy.
I always choose Emilio. Because Emilio looked the coolest. Even though this is the game with Spider in it. Emilio was the cool one in my eyes.
I remember Spider giving us some difficulty on it.
Oh, he was not friendly.
He's number one. Alright, so first level training bathtub. Now, I really wanted, this week, because we always do a quiz, I wanted to hurt you.
Oh no.
Because you've been doing so good.
Yeah.
Because I just do the true false, and you just kind of, it's always fine. So this week's are multiple choice.
Cool. Oh, thank you, Griffin. Griffin just said he loves my new podcast. That's very nice of him. Thank you.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, who do we want to race against? Do I want to throw Spider in the mix? Because Spider wrecked shop.
Let's leave Spider on the. Let's get the Walter.
Walter's in.
Walter has that. Bryan Cranston plays Walter White, I believe. That's Breaking Bad's Walter White.
I thought you were gonna say Bryan Cranston played Walter in the 2004 Micro Machines movie that was only released in Brazil.
That actually, I would not be. Yeah, put Mike in.
Mike's
there.
in, and then we've got a choice between
spitting image of me.
Let's go for Bonnie. Let's diversify this group a little bit because it's very blokey.
Bad.
Yeah.
Sure. So this week's quiz is 8 questions, and they're all about Micro Machines and the history of Micro Machines.
Oh, I'm gonna beef it so bad on this.
So I feel like I overcorrected. Okay. Whereas I felt it was a bit too easy before, I think I went entirely the other direction. But every time I think I'm gonna get you hold on. So we'll see. So 8 questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. The physics on this are just as janky as they are on the
Perfect
NES.
Number 1. Micro Machines were invented by A. Tamara R. Vandal, B. Clemens V. Hedin Jr., C. no one actually knows, or D, Tamara R. Vandal and Clemens B. Paddon Jr.
I like that the last one is all of the above except C. I want to say... I kind of want to go with nobody actually knows.
Incorrect.
No!
It is Clemens B. Paddon.
Who's the other person? Where does that name come from?
I just made it up.
You just made...
Tamara R. Vandal sounds... I just used the initial and everything.
Can you write a heist movie where that is one of the main characters? If you get tapped to write Ocean's 9...
9 people must steal micro machines from the vault. The Micro Machines vault. The fabled...
Yes. Oh,
we thought it was a myth.
Who among us wasn't brought up on stories of the Micro Machines vault? Oh, I hate
common. Very common, that vault. Number 2. And we'll start answering questions after the quiz. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. We see them. We see ya.
And we love you.
We gotta do the quiz. It's like the thing. Number 2.
Oh. I just fell right off that table. I'm sorry. Continue.
The company that invented Micro Machines, Galoob, also invented A, the Game Shark, B, the Game Genie, C, the U-Force, or D, the Rollin' Rocker.
I want to say it's the Game Genie. That sounds very familiar.
Correct, it was Galoob. You got that one right.
Yeah! Stop there. It's 50, I've scored 50%.
Now, on a scale of 0 to the worst company name of all time, where do you put Galoob?
Galoob, I would put it second to the British toy chain Beatties, because I don't know.
Beatties is bad, but it doesn't have the word lube in the title.
Yeah, but you could buy Galoob products at Beatties, so you could go to Beatties for Galoob.
Oh, okay. It's like a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
One is swapped.
I used to buy my... I'm not even kidding. I used to get my Star Trek The Next Generation action figures and my Micro Machines from Beatties.
All right.
The end.
Number 3. Micro Machines today are owned by A, Hasbro, B, Mattel, C, Disney, or D, Carl's Jr.
That's a curveball and a half. Cripes. I think it's Mattel.
Incorrect.
Oh no.
Hasbro, actually.
That was my instinct said Hasbro, but then I thought, wait, no, Hasbro.
That's why I put it first.
Yeah.
I'm metagaming it.
Ah, you're the worst person.
You are 1 for 3. But you're doing great at Micro Machines.
I'm
tearing it up.
I've only fallen off the table once. That will change very rapidly.
This is the one where you crash into each other, you explode.
Except I haven't yet.
But isn't that a thing where like you'll just randomly be killed?
Yeah, and there's also those glue drops which don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the glue drops don't scan as glue in the Game Boy Color's limited color palette. God.
To take a moment, because obviously you know a lot about ports.
Do I? Okay.
This seems like a pretty okay one.
Yeah, I mean the physics are they're right up there. You've got to not crash into the cars. I need to.
That's what I was saying. That's where.
It's
but the levels are carried over exactly.
Yeah, it's a very faithful port of I think the NES version. It's
you just sacrificed yourself to kill him.
Yes, and I'm throwing it through the glue. I gotta be better.
Number 4. Micro Machines are featured in what famous children's film? A, Flight of the Navigator, B, The Lego Movie, C, Home Alone, or D, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
I want to say it's, God, man, there's so many possible options. I want to say it's Flight of the Navigator.
Nope.
No?
Home Alone.
What? Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a very, very long time.
He uses them on the sticky bandits at the end. He puts them on the stair. I actually did try to make this one doable because it is a pretty important scene. It's not just featured in the background. He uses them to murder his would-be attackers.
They're an accessory to the taking of a human life.
They're an accessory to their own murder.
Wow.
Yeah, they got charged. It was crazy.
That's weird.
1 for 4.
This is bad.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Did you decide on the over-under for this one, by the way? Because I don't think that was declared beforehand, which I think may invalidate the quiz.
2. I'll say 2.
Okay.
Because they never get easy. I'll say that.
Man, I came second. That's not good.
Number 5. In the 1990s, Micro Machines' slogan was A. Micro Machines, big power. Number B.
Number B?
B. Live life in the fast lane, Micro Machines. C. Fast things come in small packages. Or D. If it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the real thing.
If it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the real thing is absolutely a real slogan that they have used.
Yes, that's correct.
Because we watched some of the commercials together, as memory serves.
Oh, yeah. That
was a gimme.
That one was tough because I couldn't come up with anything that was better than that. Because that fast-talking dude used to say it.
Yeah. Up until you said that last one, I was convinced it was probably number B.
Well, I think they had a problem with people like ripping off their shtick, which wasn't really like a patentable thing. Oh, you make really small cars.
So they had to kind of build the "hey, quit it, guys" into their marketing.
If I recall, this is the first level of Micro Machines that really boned us both up. Yeah. All the beach buggy levels are bad.
Yeah, they're rough.
They're hurtful.
Did we ever? We kept talking about picking up that new Micro Machines that came out, and I didn't pick it up, but I also don't think.
I think I saw the reviews weren't great, but I might be misremembering.
I don't remember the reviews for this being particularly great either, to be honest. But it's still fun to play. You can't always trust anyone. If the X-Files taught me anything, it's that you can't always trust video game reviews. Trust no one.
I trust collective thoughts less than individual reviews of everything. Number 6, you are 2 for 5, which means you can miss the next 3 and you'll still hit the spread. I set the spread at basically 0. Number 6. Which of the following is not a real licensed Micro Machines playset? This is gonna blow your brain up. A. Biker Mice from Mars.
I came 3rd.
Is that good enough to advance?
No, I failed.
I told you this is the one that's going to screw us up. Wow, at least this one makes the numbers really obvious, unlike the NES, which is like, how many lives do I have?
Yeah. Same with the Amiga version. The Amiga version and the NES version were very similar.
Have you tried being better?
You know what? I'm gonna give it a go and see how that works out for me.
Okay, cool. So, which of the following is not a real playset? Somebody's blowing up my phone. It's the Democratic National Headquarters. A. Biker Mice from Mars. B. Tailspin. C. Predator. Or D. Babylon 5.
I think... What were the options again? Give me them one more time. Hit me with that.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah.
Tailspin, Predator, or Babylon 5.
I'm going to say Tailspin because I don't remember any Disney Micro Machines as a kid.
Correct. That's a good... Why did I lose myself in my headphones? What? Weird. Yeah, you got that right. I thought Babylon 5 would trip you up because the idea of Babylon 5 Micro Machines is like... What?
I tell you, it could have tripped me up were it not for the fact that my mother collected every single one of those bad boys.
Oh, I was on a museum website. There's so many.
Yeah. My mum had all of the Babylon 5 ones. She had all of the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine ones as well. She was an avid collector.
Insane collections, number 7, the Starship Troopers sets feature A. No actual cars. B. New bug types that are also cars. C. Guns replaced with batons. Or D. None of the above. The set was canceled due to parental backlash.
I want to say D. I think. Am I right?
No.
No.
So check this out. It's A.
Really?
It doesn't feature cars, which means that they made it. There are guns, and there's no cars in it. Micro Machines with no cars.
Okay.
But you can get little Hitler, Neil Patrick Harris, dude, in your little set. The real subtle Nazi illusion.
Wow. I am doing really bad at Micro Machines on the Game Boy. That's a song I'm working on.
you're trying to cut corners, and this is the level that don't let you do that.
Oh, I'm very not trying to cut corners. I'm just skidding out. It's a subtle distinction, I know, but I'm in second place. Let's see if I can hold on to that.
Alright. Number 8, last one. Which of the following is a real Micro Machines line? A. Fast Food's Greatest Vehicles. B. The Presidential Limousine Series. C. The VR Troopers Villain Pack. Or D. The Super Dave Wreck-'em Right set.
Super Dave?
Super Dave.
Super Day or Super Dave?
Super Dave. Are you not familiar with Super? It was like an Evel Knievel take cartoon / live action. He like would be Evel Knievel, but his bit was he always crashed. Super Dave.
That I don't know anything about Super Dave, but that already sounds brilliant. Man, all of these sound simultaneously plausible and implausible.
Yeah, you're trying to pick out the one real one.
Yeah.
That's what makes it like insane.
I'm the worst. It's tough. I know that Hot Wheels have done fast food cars. I don't think Micro Machines have done fast food cars. I'm gonna say fast food.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
So the real set in there,
okay,
and this blew my face up, is the Presidential Limousine Series. They made 3, one of which was Kennedy's car that he was literally murdered in.
Wow.
Which seems like a bad idea.
That does not strike me as a smart.
So you got
choice.
3 out of 8. Which is, just to grade your paper here, that is an F-.
Oh no.
See, I've added your name and your grade and your teacher, but you got a 3. It's real bad. I'm gonna fold this up. I'll get it to you in the mail.
Please do. I'm gonna get all of these framed, by the way. Let's go for Dwayne, Spider, and Chen. Do we want to have a conversation about that character design? Do we want to have?
I don't especially know, but I am trying to discern what emotion they think they drew on him. Hello, I'm Chen.
That is definitely I just farted, but I'm not going to tell anyone face.
But I kind of want people to know it was me.
Yeah.
Like I'm into that a little bit.
I'm telegraphing it, but I'm definitely not telling anyone. And if anyone asks me, I'll say, I'll never tell. Which means yes, I do. See, this level
cool.
I'm good. The beans.
This level I'm good. Immediate smash into syrup. Although we got pretty good at this level when we were playing through it.
Did we ever finish the Sandlot? Which is what I've decided the
Dune Buggy one's called? We got way past that. We
did helicopters. I remember helicopters.
I think we stopped on a helicopter level because somehow the helicopter is the skiddiest car, despite the fact it has no road. So long, farewell. I'll be to saying good night. Goodbye. That was not the sound of music.
It was the sound of Mikey.
The sound of Mikey.
How did I come second?
You fell off the table.
I did fall off the table.
One of the things.
All
right, if you have questions for us, just hit us up at FilmJoy in the chat.
Can I ask why you guys are playing the Game Boy version and not, say, the NES version? That is a good question.
We thought this was funny.
Yeah.
We were wrong.
I think there's something sort of tangibly interesting about playing a game that everyone knows on a system that they're maybe less familiar with, which is kind of my thing, by the way. I don't know if you know that. I do.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is a port, so it's kind of hitting all the brands at once.
It's in my wheelhouse.
Just like you're hitting all the erasers at once. Like, that eraser has not moved in 19 years. Same place.
It's in the exact same place it's always been in.
I
didn't know. I did some research on the various ports of Micro Machines. I did not know that the NES was the original. Most of the ports for the original Micro Machines came out between 93 and 95. So even the Amiga version didn't come out till 93. And the lion's share of the 16-bit ports, including the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, those ports came out after Micro Machines 2 came out, inexplicably.
Paris Lavender asks, when is the Ghost of Mars deep dive going to happen? We've recorded it. It is editing. Those take a while. But hopefully this month was the idea. If not, early February. It's a long one. It's a good one, though. Now, do you want to stay on the table?
I'm making a conscious effort to try. I always get Ghosts of Mars and Mission to Mars confused.
Ghost of Mars was John Carpenter.
Oh, yes.
Jason Statham's in it. Ice Cube's in it. It's a perfect deep dive movie.
I mean, just the cast alone, it sounds like a joke movie from an episode of 30 Rock.
Right. Well, Pam Grier is in it.
Wow.
Clea Duvall's in it. Number one. That's a one. I don't think that's a real pit crew kind of thing. That'll be, I'm your pit crew. When you win, I go, that's a one.
That's a one. And I'm like, dude, just change my
freak.
tires, please. You've done no maintenance on this vehicle. You just say, that's a one.
My favorite thing about Ghost of Mars, and you should actually check it out for this reason, is they colonize Mars. Like, that's the bit. But all the stuff goes wrong, and it's a super John Carpenter-y movie. But what is astoundingly odd is that it's like the year 2400 or whatever, but all of the technology on Mars is flip switches and rotary dials, and like, so there's no digital readouts. Like, everything's like 1950s tech, even though it's like 100 years in the future.
I remember having a lengthy conversation with Chris Straub a few years ago about the stark contrast in the technology level presented between 2001: A Space Odyssey and 2010, the year we made contact, because everything visually about 2001 is so much there's so much more going on in terms of technology, and the technology is so far in advance of what is presented in 2010. So that supposes a timeline in which we forgot how to do 3D rendered wireframes on computer monitors and resorted purely to DOS-based interfaces.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at like all the different movies where, because if you look at even the Star Wars prequels, all of the prequel technology is more advanced and more lived in than the original trilogy. Trying to think of another example. I just had one and I forgot.
Oh, Nods, come on,
You were
Ben.
doing all right.
No, I wasn't.
Well, I was trying to make you feel good about the failure, at least.
Well, you failed.
Was it me that did?
I don't want to take sole responsibility for the failure.
This could be a 2. That's a 2.
Two's
good enough. Good enough.
But the thing about Alien, as someone whose name I can't see on my screen fully, character something or other, character select. The thing about Alien is that aesthetic carries across into the later movies and games to an extent. Like, I love that the interface in with playing Alien Isolation looks and feels so much like the first two Alien films.
I can't believe I'm bringing this up as a defense, but I appreciated about the only thing I appreciated in Independence Day Resurgencers. They had taken the technology that had been like sort of crash landed on the Earth, and they updated it, you know, and used it to fight. Which I was like, okay, that makes sense. Nothing else in the movie did though.
The whole film felt like a straight-to-video sequel that somehow got the original cast on a big budget. Like,
it was the Phantom Menace bad.
It was the worst film I saw all 2016, 2017. It was bad. I'm not going to win this course. I'm already in
20. Yeah, this is a problem. You're like at least half a lap behind him.
I'm waiting to be lapped. I'm going to get lapped by the gently grey one, and then the white one, and then the dark grey one.
Oh, you're playing Micro Machines. What color are you? Half gray.
I need to get good. I think next week we should do Super Star Wars, because if we want to see me suffer, that's really the place to do it.
Arguing about technology in Star Wars is pointless because it's all a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah,
but it's still
arguing about Star Wars is pointless. Dear Internet.
Entire internet shuts up about Star Wars for 5 goddamn
Also,
minutes.
that doesn't even track.
Yeah,
if it took place before, the technology would be like that's still logically.
Yeah, you can still debate the technology presented in the Star Wars movies relative to the other Star Wars movies.
Oh, you got to get good, man.
The problem is when you fall in the lake, you sit there for 7 years.
Well, you're waiting for like the Lakitu to come pick you up out of it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I liked about Armful. I died. I died when in Micro Machines. If you die in the game, you die in real game.
Random port question: do you draw a distinction between modern multi-platform releases and ports? It's almost like you made a video specifically about what is a port.
I did do that, but I will elaborate
well, answer
on
it,
that.
Sure.
Yeah, I will answer that question. Modern video game ports are, and Mikey, you can definitely speak to more detail on this, but a modern video game port, when Warner Brothers is putting out Batman Arkham Asylum on the 360, the PS3, and the PC, they're developing it with all of those systems in mind. So
generally, yes.
Yeah. So it's not they're making the Xbox version and then figuring out how to port that to the PS3 and then figuring out how to port that to the PC. They're developing it with those multi-platform releases in mind, which was very much not the case in the 80s and a good chunk of the 90s, where a game would be put out on one system and then they would figure out, okay, how do we make this work on the Amiga? How do we make this work on the NES? And a good example of that is Micro Machines. Like, there were different teams working on different versions of the games, sharing some but not all assets. Like, the physics in the Game Boy version that we're playing now are very different from the physics in the Amiga version. They're close, but they're not identical. Assets from the Sega Genesis version were reused to an extent on the Game Gear version, but they were all done by different teams. Like, I was reading the Wikipedia article for Micro Machines today, and it goes so far as to list the different programmers who worked on the different versions of the game, because you had to rebuild everything from scratch, and that's just not something.
The rubber banding of the computers in this game is obscene.
It is preposterous.
I mean, he was like half a lap or half the distance of it behind you, and he's just moving twice. Look at him. He gets behind and they move twice as fast. So they're always on you. Brake. Use your brakes.
You know what? That's good advice. I use the brakes, but they don't...
like, chat is telling you, like, all of it is...
I will... Hey, hi, chat. How are you doing? I love you. I have been using the brakes. They're just not great in this game. On this course specifically, they are...
That's fair.
There may as well not be brakes, is the thing I'm saying here. I love you all.
At FilmJoy from JP, where'd the idea for Deep Dive come from? I like recap shows, and I mean that started as hot takes, and then it became Deep Dive, Got my friends together. I thought it would be fun if we had to watch torrentially bad films, but only say nice things about them, which takes a few to kind of work into, because you'll see we're a little meaner to Jupiter Descending. But you have to, like, I don't know, that premise took a couple of tries. I feel like we were hitting our element now for sure.
I think I just knocked Spider into the drink.
He looked thirsty.
He does now. Thirsty for victory, and he's not going to get it.
At FilmJoy, when are you going to play a game together, and when will I can't even answer that. We're not in the same city right now, so
yeah. We're working on that. We definitely have stuff that we want to do together.
Oh, Jeff, sorry, go.
That's it. That's the stuff. That's the end of that sentence. I did it.
Jeff Good at FilmJoy. Is Jet Li's The One too good for the dive box? Absolutely not. Jet Li's The One. I was like 14 when I saw that movie in the theater, and I was, because like when you're 14, you think Batman Forever is like the best Batman film because you don't know.
I have a friend who is 35 who still thinks Batman Forever is the best Batman film.
Wait, I'm 35.
You're not. But it's no. It's a different friend. His name's Mikey.
Okay, I was like, I don't think that.
I have another Mikey friend whose movie opinions are. He's like the anti movies with Mikey. He really likes Batman Forever. He thinks Val Kilmer is the best screen Batman there's ever been, and he really doesn't like The Dark Knight.
But that doesn't make it the best Batman film, even if that were true.
Well, he thinks both of those facts.
You're struggling on this one, my dude.
It's the sand. The sand's getting in my controller, and I can't properly.
All right, we'll do it. Mark 76. Are hot dogs sandwiches? Inquiring mind.
Yes. Of course, they're sandwiches.
Why?
How is that even a discussion?
Actually, it's a pretty hot button topic, and I'm not sure I agree with your assessment.
It's in bread. It's sandwich. Like I feel the same. Burgers.
A lot of stuff has bread that isn't a sandwich.
A lot of stuff doesn't have bread that is inexplicably considered a sandwich. If it's open-faced, it ain't a sandwich. Like, that's...
But there's open-faced sandwiches.
Yeah, which is a wrong sandwich. You didn't...
So you took the premise of the question, ignored it, and just decided something else wasn't a sandwich.
Let me tell you, open-faced sandwiches are not sandwiches. They are a person failing to complete the construction of a sandwich.
Here's the thing. I believe the answer, because everybody likes these like weird hypothetical things, and everybody throws them on the internet, and everybody gets really mad, and people say too mean things. Here's the thing: if you can properly communicate your idea, so I'm like, man, I'm hungry for a sandwich, and I mean hot dog.
I mean, that's
like you're not using language effectively.
You know what? You know what? You've spun me around on this. You're right. Hot dog is not a sandwich.
Well, I just think this like never-ending anger parade that we create, like we create hypothetical questions that are made to enrage people.
Yeah.
And I think that's a silly thing.
I like hypothetical questions that are designed to elicit mirth. Like my favorite is the SNL skit of "If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?" Like that's.
Hey Norm, if your head was a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
That it just made this. Here's
the distinction to me. Is sandwich a scientific term? No. Whatever you think is a sandwich is a sandwich.
This game
now,
is a
someone
sandwich.
else might think something else isn't. That doesn't matter. Whatever you believe is true to you.
I think Micro Machines is a sandwich.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You can believe that. Micro Machines is a sandwich. I'll go with you. I'll carry that. Is ketchup a fruit smoothie? Mouse Army just asked us that.
Security, can we get Mouse Army security?
Again,
front row. Thank you.
I mean, so actually no, because here's the thing: ketchup is tomato, which is a fruit. So haha, I get it. It's a fruit smoothie, but there's vinegar in it, and I don't recall vinegar being a popular smoothie ingredient.
Yeah, checkmate, atheists.
So no, checkmate, atheists. You got burnt. Oh god. So now everybody's just asking us hypothetical.
Give us good questions, please. I love you.
I'm gonna go back to the movie questions. Character select. What's the movie that you love now that took you the longest time to realize that you loved it? What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, that's such a good film.
I agree. It super wasn't my thing for a bit.
Yeah.
It didn't connect with me.
That's interesting. What did you struggle with the first time you saw it?
I just didn't like it. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't get it. Like, which is fine. I can say that about me.
Yeah.
I watched it recently, sort of randomly, and I loved it because like I love Taika Waititi's everything else.
Yeah.
So I figured that's got to be me.
So you
like everyone else loves this, and because people are like, oh, do you like Taika Waititi movies? And I'm like, oh man, I loved Hunt for the Wilder People, and everybody's like, what the hell is that? Because Taika Waititi was generally What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
So
that's probably his. Other than Thor Ragnarok, that's probably the film he's most known for in the US. Don't cry
Hollow
for me,
Man
Argentina.
at FilmJoy, have you thought about doing Mask of the Phantasm? Mask of the Phantasm, some would say that's the true superior Batman film. Disagree with that premise. It's an animated Batman film. I can't see one of those being my favorite Batman movie, I'm sorry.
I think there's a lot of nostalgic mirth wrapped up in people's appreciation of Batman the Animated Series. Because I went back, I haven't watched it in a very, very long time.
It's a fun thing.
Yeah.
I just if that's the first and only Batman thing you've watched, it's gonna leave you going, huh?
Yeah.
Because it's very much about liking the animated series. You're right.
Yeah. The animated series. I've been going back and revisiting it, and it's very well produced, but it's like it hasn't been doing it for me, and I can't put my finger on why, because I loved it as a kid. My dad adored it. My dad had the whole thing on DVD, but I can't put my finger on what it is about Batman the Animated Series that I'm not clicking with for some reason now as an adult.
Favorite Batman voice actor?
I'm biased because I know two of them.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Conroy. Please go on.
Yes, I'm actually Kevin Conroy. Please don't tell anyone.
I knew that.
Yeah, you knew that, but we promised never to discuss it on the show. But I guess you're just going to out me like that. That's fine. That's good. It's fine. You know what? You do you.
There's no way to yes and that improv and going. So let's just
stop.
So who's your favorite?
I really liked Dino Andrade's performance as the Scarecrow in Batman Arkham Asylum. Like, I really, really liked it. And again, that is incredibly informed by the fact that Dino's one of my best friends. But if I had to exclude people I know, I think Mark Hamill as the Joker's kind of evergreen. I think there's a reason why, people keep asking him to come back to that role. I think he's one of the best Jokers. Yeah,
I think, and I don't. Now I'm curious, because I don't know all of their names off the top of my head. I was always a huge fan of the way that Mark Hamill's Joker interacted with Harley Quinn. Not how they're written. I'm sure it's highly problematic now, but I always liked her performance. Like Harley Quinn, unlike a lot of other, because you can have British scarecrows, you can have American scarecrows, but like Harley Quinn is Mr. J, like it's always pitch perfect, sound just like it, but it's got kind of a Brooklyn. I always like that.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Mouse Army at FilmJoy. Fuse any Batman with any Batman villain for a unique Batman character.
Condiment King and Calendar Man for Calendar Condiment, where he'll attack you with ketchup, but only during limited time participating events at your local McDonald's.
I'm going to do the weirdest thing. I'm going to take George Clooney's Batman, specifically that one, and I'm going to put him through the ringer, like the Joker origin story, and turn George Clooney's Batman into like this new Joker. You were doing fine.
I went way off the beaten path, but I didn't fall in the drink.
You did, and you caught up pretty quick, so that's nice. But yeah, I would turn Clooney Joker onto Gotham.
Interesting.
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Actually, Batman and Condiment King is because I have a fascination with Condiment King as a character, like his existence. Like, I'm a villain. Well, I guess like Clown Prince of Crime is taken, Ice Guy is taken a couple of times. What have I got? What have I got left? Ketchup. I'm a ketchup criminal. No!
I don't like that they all choose like hyper-gendered royalty, so they can't. Like, where's the condiment queen, my dude? There can be one. This is getting frustrating for you, I imagine.
I always liked, I think it was an Elsewhere comic which posited that Batman was just like an aspect of like Bruce Wayne being utterly incapable of dealing with the trauma of losing his kids. Losing his parents, not his kids. That's a whole other version of Batman that I would absolutely watch. But the idea that to keep Bruce Wayne occupied, Alfred takes on the persona of the Joker, which I always thought was really
dark.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool.
That's weird for a parental figure. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. Stay alive.
I like that you kind of went at Red Hot Chili Peppers with it. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna win now.
Ha!
Second place.
I was excited with it. Hey, save stated.
Oh man, you're so smart. So smart and wise. Save.
That's me.
Hang on.
Remember when you ask us questions? There's a lot of chat on my screen. When you ask us questions, do the @FilmJoy thing, or I won't see it.
Character select. Absolutely search for Condiment King. It is real.
Oh yeah. And what's funny is, like, there was a while where in certain circles, like, the Calendar Man was the goofiest Batman villain, but no.
Condiment King. Condiment King has had a bit of resurgence in popularity of late because he made a cameo in Lego Batman.
Now, here's my question: What condiments are okay? Does he use Thousand Island dressing?
I think he's just ketchup and mustard. I think it's literally just
That's so boring.
It's the Sector and Cyrax colors. Did you know that during the development of Mortal Kombat 3, Sector and Cyrax were literally just called ketchup and mustard?
Yeah, because the whole Noob Sabat thing was just a thing they listed in like a weird screen. Like, it wasn't a character, people thought it was because there was like an error on some screen.
Mortal Kombat did that so many times though, like Ermac exists as a result.
Ermac, that's what I meant, is Ermac. Yeah.
But Noob Saibot and Rain were both originally joke characters that were not in the game, and then they were added later because they...
What if all Mortal Kombat characters are joke characters?
What if Mortal Kombat is just a joke game? What if that is...
No, Mortal Kombat 4 was the best one.
I'm a big fan of MK Mythology Sub-Zero. I think that was probably... It's an underrated classic.
I was a big fan of... Because I bought into that. I had my little Nintendo Power, you know. And I saw that game get announced, and they were like, we're going to do all the characters in one. I thought that was real. Now, they did do another one, didn't they?
They did Special Forces, which was Jax and Sonya, and that was on the PS1.
Sure, that was great.
It was not. Beans!
Your car seems to turn, but then it just keeps going the same direction.
Yeah,
which is an interesting feature.
Yeah, and the brakes aren't super useful on this, because I think this is like kitchen table linoleum. I think the physics on the Game Boy version are the worst physics in any Micro Machines game.
They are super slidey.
Don't do it.
Ooh, Marky Mark 76. Thoughts on the first Mortal Kombat movie?
I think it's a lot of fun. Nuts. I genuinely enjoy the first Mortal Kombat movie. The second one I could take or leave, and I didn't...
Dude, the second one is the second one is terrible.
The second one's awful.
It's like really bad. And they killed Johnny Cage like 2 seconds into the movie because they had they might as well have turned to been like contract disputes. Like they could have just...
Yeah.
Dumbest thing.
What they should have done is have Johnny Cage say, I'm here, but I can't go with you because I've got another gig. I'm off.
I used to not hesitate to talk about how much I like the first Mortal Kombat movie. I do now because Paul Thomas Anderson, not P.T. Anderson, though they have the same name.
Or P.T. Barnum.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the director. He basically went on to create a few different things. Among them, the Resident Evil series, which refuses to die.
Please just go. I think that those Resident Evil movies, there's like 27 of them.
If you want to, yeah, because there was they did like the final one like 4 movies ago.
Yeah.
I mean, like Nightmare on Elm Street is like laughing at them.
Yeah. Stupid man.
The Final Nightmare. That was like 6 movies ago.
So someone asked, what is my favorite video game movie of all time? That's really simple. Wreck-It Ralph. Boom, done. You can't beat it. Wreck-It Ralph followed very closely by Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, which was really, really good.
I agree. I saw it thinking it was gonna be terrible, and then it was like legitimately super fun.
I thought it was gonna be lame, but the charm of Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, I think, were gonna carry me through. And I was really pleasantly like, I did not know.
The NPC joke got me when he's like, "I'm an NPC."
Yeah, he's just saying the same thing over again. And Rhys Darby plays that character with so much joy and vim that you can't help but love that. And I did not know that one of the best cinematic moments of 2017 would involve Jack Black urinating. Like,
I know, right? I was so scared. I thought that was gonna be a train wreck. And then it was like legitimately hilarious.
It's such a good. I've seen it in theaters twice. I'm almost certainly gonna get it on Blu-ray when it comes out. I'm really hoping they do a box set with both Jumanji movies on Blu-ray, but they probably won't because who does box sets anymore?
I can't give it to Wreck-It Ralph though. Because Wreck-It Ralph it didn't do its research on how video games work at all. So if you're gonna make a film about video games, you should know things about them.
Yeah, like characters.
It's a fun movie, but it's like, I don't know.
Characters can only hop from one machine to the next if they're based on the same architecture. Like, you can't have a character from a Capcom CPS-1 machine hopping over to a Galaga machine. Like, those aren't even compatible hardwares. Like, get it right, Disney.
Not where I was going, but
no,
all right.
I was just taking a bit. I was just going for a bit. What was your, like, specifically what in terms of?
It was like the whole film. Like, every time they tried to do anything technical, it's a kids movie, so it's gonna magic it up, obviously. But
I did.
Hey, you did it. You did it. Safe state. Gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
I saw that movie at exactly the right moment in my life when I needed to see it because I was going through some stuff at the time.
Yeah.
And it really, like, again, it's like asking me who my favorite Batman voice actor is. I can't divorce how I feel about the film.
Oh, we're into the F1 on the pool table stuff. This gets hard.
Yeah.
Because they go really fast.
And it's harder on the Game Boy because you don't get as much of a lead up.
Yeah, the screen's more zoomed in, and
they actually, the Game
Gear version... Like, look how fast he's going!
The Game Gear version changed how the camera works. They don't have the car centered in the middle of the screen. They actually have the camera a little bit ahead of the car, so that there's a window for the for the player to kind of get a chance to see what turns are coming, which this version doesn't do. So this version's not. Oh, you have to go in the pocket. Goodbye. So long.
No.
That pocket.
I always did very bad on it because the first one's beatable. They get really hard because you got to memorize every single track. That's where Micro Machines really kind of fails. Is you can't. It's like Guitar Hero. You have to memorize the song.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Although even Guitar Hero, you could get good enough to sight read. This is like you must memorize every single.
Like guitar, not so much Guitar Hero, but certainly Rock Band. I'm very, very good at. Not to brag or anything, but I'm pretty dope.
FilmJoy. So about that Last Jedi video, I'm not doing one until the Blu-ray is out, and also there's some changes coming to my show that will go live with the Phase 5 video. I'll talk about it a little bit. I'm doing some different stuff this year, so don't assume that I'm going to do anything, please.
I have a Phase 5 video coming out probably at the end of this week.
Me
Certainly
and
at the end of the month.
yeah, well, I'm doing one, Thaddeus is doing one, and you're doing one.
Yeah.
Mine will be up Friday, so I guess mine will probably be up first.
Yeah.
It's really long. I can't make short things anymore. Actually, I just have a lot of things to say about a lot of things.
Don't do it, Ben. There we go.
I'm hard. It's puppets, isn't it? You got me. It's all puppets.
I pitched, not to anyone in particular, to myself, I guess, a video game review show hosted by puppets that would have been called Felt Down.
Give me a second.
Bye. Yeah, I'm a very interesting person when I'm talking to myself, as you will all discover. Is that Samurai Sword handle? No, it's the pool cue. Puppets with Mikey. Yeah, I think Mikey is probably... Oh, he's going to get puppets. I was right. You were right, everyone.
Okay, I'm back. I brought toys.
See, I can't do that because I'm playing a game.
That's true.
You can get up and walk away whenever you like. I'm a prisoner here.
I can get up, walk away, and I can grab a puppet of myself.
You have a puppet of yourself.
Yeah, it was from an old web show.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's me. Wait, hang on. Now it's me.
You realise if you ever do a movies with Mikey about any of the Muppets movies, this is pretty much mandatory.
Just giving everybody screen cap. Just tweet all the screen caps of this.
I don't have a puppet of myself, but I do have a Vault Boy puppet from PAX 2008.
What?
That when they were doing when Bethesda were doing all the promos for Fallout 3, I have one of the Vault Boy puppets.
Fallout Boy.
Yeah, his name is Fallout Boy.
His name is Pete Wentz Boy. Good Pete Wentz Boy.
His name is Bob's Big Boy. Now I want a burger. Good job. Ask
us sillier questions.
Yeah, let's go into a more...
Well, it's like the last one came in. Would you ever do Amistad? I'm like, I don't. It's too heavy. Plus, I don't think I have any thoughts on Amistad.
No.
I'd have to watch it again.
I misread that as Amstrad.
But it was kind of a heavy film. That's like A Time to Kill. You know, it's just like it's a good film.
The end. I feel like
that was me walking away, not dancing. Yo, let's do our Time to Kill dances. And I hope they burn in hell. Whoa!
Yeah, I'd watch that.
It's like the only line I remember. I hope they burn in hell.
Oh, Amstrad. Would I do an Amstrad port or an Amstrad game? Like, I don't know that there's as big an audience for Amstrad games.
I've misread Amstrad or Amstrad.
I made a joke because I heard you talking about it, and I made a joke about, you mean Amstrad, and it turns out that was the friends we made along the way. The Amstrad. Firstly, I have very little experience with the Amstrad. Like, I grew up playing games on the Commodore 64 and then the Amiga. So I don't have the exposure to the Amstrad. Most of the Amstrad stuff I've experienced has been in emulators. I could probably research the heck out of an Amstrad game, but I don't know that there's an audience for it. But then again, I don't know that there's an audience for Amiga stuff, and I talk about the Amiga every 7 seconds, so...
You do.
Who can say?
I was wondering if you're going to work it into a sentence there.
And then I did.
Because it had been sick, yeah, and then you slam dunked it. Wow, serious question. Cereal or soup? Soup all the way, my dude.
I like both. It's hard to choose. I discovered that my local Vons is selling Weetabix, and that's very much an integral part of my British childhood, so I've been eating a lot of Weetabix over the last couple of weeks.
To me, it's like soup is something you make and requires effort. Cereal is not.
I don't think soup as something that requires a tremendous amount of clock cycles.
I'm not talking about buying canned soup. I'm talking about making and like effort.
Oh, I mean,
you know,
I generally try to avoid effort wherever possible. So
especially when it comes to micro machines.
Oh, I just came first. Do you want to eat those words like my delicious Campbell's cream of chicken soup?
I do. Here, let me just take my words here. Put them on a little card. Eating my words.
Good job.
Thursday. What for? For Thursday. What does it mean?
Let's put
the question was, is cereal a soup? Sorry. That's not, we said stop the hypothetical, guys. It's like that, it's really, well, I mean, hypotheticals are good. That
okay,
kind is
I have one for you. If you were a donut, what type of donut would you be?
I am not answering that.
Why not?
Because donuts are not sentient, and this just causes people to yell at each other. These type of questions, they're weird.
No, I think no. I'm not. No, I think the soup question causes people to yell at each other. I think the ketchup smoothie thing is definitely in that wheelhouse. But like, I don't think. What type of donut would you be?
Fine, blueberry cake. There you go.
All right, cool. Good answer.
First game you remember playing from Marky Mark?
Lemmings. No, maybe Thundercats. Maybe the Amiga Thundercats game, which was
mine
awful.
was definitely on IBM XT. So, like, graphics were ASCII, whatever. It was golf. ASCII golf. Jolf. The King's Game.
Ball chess.
Kiss
that egg. Did you kiss that egg? I've never been any good at any golf anything ever.
I love golf games. I buy them randomly. Like, when that episode came out, I bought whatever the newest, like, Tiger Woods game was. Played it all night. The newer, I think they don't use Tiger Woods anymore, obviously. Rory McIlroy, I think, is who they use now.
Dude, guy, man face. Don't overtake me. That's not fair.
They had one that was made in the Frostbite engine. Like, all the EA games are now Frostbite engine. And they just started exporting, like, the Battlefield levels and, like, redoing them so you can golf through Battlefield, which is kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
Very weird, though.
I'm trying to overtake you.
Ooh, what games did you play in the car as a kid? Which means Game Boy, which means what horrible games did I own? Because I bought every wrong game.
Oh, you're talking to a guy who bought Mortal Kombat 4 for the Game Boy Color and finished it in the car on the way home. What? And I finished it in the car on the way home, Michael. That game did not make it home, and I never played it again because I had finished it.
That's so bad.
I told because I was 13 years old. I was living here living with my dad for 3 months over here in LA, and I told him I finished it. I was so proud of myself. But I look back on that memory and I can see his face drop, like we just dropped $30 plus sales tax on this game, and you finished it in 7 minutes.
I played a lot of Bo Jackson's baseball and football. You remember that? Like, all the graphics were like stick figures. They were so early. I don't
remember that. I don't know that made it to the UK.
I doubt Bo Jackson was very big in the UK now.
I played a lot of BoJack Horseman.
But that's what I meant to say is BoJack Horseman, football, and basketball. Horse basketball.
Horse basketball.
Yeah, hold on to the lead. You're gonna fail.
It's horse basketball, but ironically, it is not them playing horse. It is just basketball with horses. This is not what I thought I was buying, BoJack Horseman.
I also played a lot of Bart versus the Juggernauts. We talked about that last week. The camp Simpsons. I played games that were impossible that I could play over and over and over and over.
I
appreciate this new godlight of my new blinds. What's that, God? Wait, that way.
You're turning away from God. Which
sounds like.
Yeah. For me, I played a lot of. My first Game Boy came with Super Mario Land, Tetris, Tennis, and Kickoff. I didn't play a lot of Kickoff. I played a lot of Tetris and I played a lot of Mario Land.
You started turning your boat like 100 feet ahead of that turn, and it just kept going like the direction you were going. The sliding on the Game Boy is just astounding.
Yeah, and there's no brakes in these karts either, by the way, because how do you brake in the water? You drop an anchor. The end. Oh, there we go. So long.
I think that's how you stop.
I just got pulled into the upside down.
Now, wouldn't it be funny if like the whole game just changed? Everyone had a mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! You just beamed that dude.
I did.
You're like,
oh, so long. Goodbye to you, raceman. I don't know who this character is, but I quite like him.
You sound just like Al Gore. It's pitch perfect.
Hello, I'm Al Gore. I'm Alfred Gorington.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Al Gore. Let's save the planet.
Did you know the global warming is a thing? I said global warming with an N.
What is your game of choice right now?
Right now, I'm playing a lot of Rocket League.
Yeah,
I just bought it for the 3rd time on the Switch so I can play it in bed.
I don't have a Switch one yet, but I do have it on PlayStation, Xbox, PC. So.
Yeah, I don't have a PS4, so I don't have. But I got it free with my graphics card on the PC, and I play it on the Xbox a lot. But I'm still like Mario Kart 8 still owns my soul. Like Mario Kart's evergreen for me. Like I've played every Mario Kart game to completion, with the exception of 8, because I'm still working my way through it. But on the PC, so I got really into Star Trek Bridge Crew lately. I don't have a VR headset, but they added the patch to the update for the PC version where you can play it with a mouse or the Xbox controller, and I've been playing it a lot. Like this is the Star Trek game I've wanted forever. This is the Star Trek game I wanted when I was a kid playing games on the Amiga. So I'm very happy with Bridge Crew. I just have to find people to play with who aren't the world's worst human beings.
I want to be a xenolinguistics officer.
Okay, well you can be tactical, or helm.
Boring.
Or engineering.
Or
or captain.
Wait. Yeah, which Mario Kart is your favorite, and why is it Double Dash? That's a really funny question.
I was literally about to say Double Dash.
It's not. Well, to me, it's not.
Double Dash is. I think Mario Kart 8 might be my favorite. I really like the way Mario.
There's a lot of value in 8.
Yeah.
It's a very polished.
Yeah. But Double Dash is really the only Mario Kart game that experiments with a formula in a way that I think pays off. Like I think the stuff that they added in 7 and 8 with the anti-grav and the I want to say wind chimes, but that is definitely not what they're called. The gliders. That doesn't feel like it really adds anything. I think it's cool. I think the anti-gravity stuff is cool. But for me, Mario Kart Double Dash is the only game that really experiments with the formula in a meaningful way that is not just change for change's sake. It's enjoyable. And so Mario Kart Double Dash is one of those games that I keep coming back to. How about you? What's your favorite Mario Kart?
The GBA one or the SNES one.
The GBA one is great because it has the SNES one in it when you finish.
Wait,
all of the
no,
GBA
maybe
courses.
I'm thinking. So the GBA courses are in the DS one, but the DS one has online, which would have been a positive, except that that's when everybody figured out snaking, and then the game was broken forever.
Yeah, that did not.
Super Nintendo. I think Super Nintendo. I hold the softest spot because that game was so. Like the first Mario Kart was very much like the first Super Smash Brothers. You know, when you're like, whoa, you can do this, which I thought was really interesting.
Did you know that Super Mario Kart as a project was originally born out of Shigeru Miyamoto's desire to have a 2-player split-screen F-Zero game?
That makes sense.
Yeah, and the reason it became Mario Kart is because one of the things F-Zero is known for is its long stretches, which you can't really do when you're dividing the screen in half. And it's old school 4:3, no widescreen. So, I died. That's it. So long, everyone. I made it quite far. If only I could load.
Yeah, do that.
But yeah,
what's the most influential movie on filmmaking of the last 10 years? Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Oh, is a question. The most influential movie of the last 10 years.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is when you say influential, I feel like you need to, like, not just have an opinion, actually have a movie that you know influenced other films. So, like, The Matrix, even though that was 99, is, like, a really easy answer because there's so many influences from The Matrix. Gladiator, Saving Private Ryan, same sort of thing. There were so many techniques they invented that became the standard.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. I don't think this is the most influential, but I see the influence of Shaun of the Dead all over the place. A lot of stuff that Edgar Wright's done has been very influential, but Shaun of the Dead kind of gave us this resurgence in horror comedy for a little while. Like Slither and Eight-Legged Freaks. Like Slither explicitly references Shaun of the Dead.
That Tucker and Dale Must Die or whatever it was called.
Yeah. There was this huge burst after, I want to say, like 2005, 2006 of these horror comedies that were very clearly influenced by what Edgar and Simon had did with Shaun. Yeah,
for sure. I just wish the terrible boyfriend mechanic wasn't the thing that they're like, he plays video games all day and doesn't do anything and loves beer. Like, he's a terrible boyfriend.
Yeah, he's pretty rich.
Which is the point of the film. Like, I wouldn't do it any other way. I just wish that wasn't the thing they borrowed, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of questions. But yeah, influential, gosh. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Did I miss any of the Sheboygans? No, actually, I've been Sheboygan light for quite some time.
There hasn't been a lot of cause for Sheboygan in Michael's machines.
To be fair, you've been playing very bad. Also, why is Chun-Li in this game?
It was a crossover licensing deal between video game powerhouses, Codemasters, and Capcom.
Yeah, just same size.
Yeah.
Practically the same company.
Yeah.
The one where Link is on. Okay, I'm not. If you're asking a question and then arguing with us, I'm fine.
Character Select posits that Iron Man is the most influential because it blew up the superhero genre. I will go back even further and say that you can trace the current glut of superhero movies to the release of Blade back in whenever the hell that was.
You made that a binary and it's not, but I mean, because like the modern superhero resurgence is very much Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire ones, because that proved to us that they can make that much money. But there's so many different, because Iron Man gave us this shared universe.
Yeah.
There's just so many, because like you can say Iron Man, but a lot of people forget that the Incredible Hulk was canonically before Iron Man, and was also part of the shared universe.
The Incredible Hulk came out 2 months after the Iron Man movie.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But the Incredible Hulk is also canonically both part of the MCU and a kind of soft sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk.
I thought it was a hard reboot.
It's, I mean, they if you look, like, I don't know, no way. And it could just be PR Jedi work, but there was a lot of talk from, you know, the director and the producers, like, saying, at the time, we're following on from Ang Lee's Hulk, but we're not feeling, you know, it's not sticking rigidly. And doesn't one of the characters from Hulk, he appears in both the Incredible Hulk and has appeared in some of the other MCU movies played by the same actor. So that technically makes Ang Lee's Hulk the first entry in the MCU.
Can you back up that statement as true?
No, absolutely not.
I'm not sure you can.
Absolutely not.
I don't think there's any shared actors between Ang Lee's Hulk and Edward Norton's Hulk.
I'm almost confident
he's behind you. How did he get 3?
Who among us can say? I'm gonna look it up. Ang Lee Hulk.
The abstruse one. Do you think overly referential directors like Tarantino or Wright are slowing the evolution of film? No, I'm not even finished reading the quote. No. Part of art is remixing aspects of art and saying something new. That's literally my whole brand. So I can't. I think there's always something new to say, off of things that have been used before. So no.
Do you guys play any board games? I actually, I don't know if this counts as a board game. It's tabletop, certainly, but I DM a weekly Dungeons & Dragons game for some friends. Friends including my, the Life Toyetic co-host, Molly Alice Hoy. Plug.
Welcome to the Plug Show with Ben and Mikey.
Mikey, what would you like to plug this week?
Nothing.
Okay, cool. I can plug my thing twice.
Plug away. What is your favorite car chase in film? Dane Enderton asks.
Oh, that's a tricky question. I think all car chases are stupid.
That's a... Okay. Ronin?
I generally like the stuff that leads into the car chase and the stuff that follows the car chase. The car chases themselves don't really do anything for me. So when I think of great car chases, I like my first thought is, oh, I really like the car chase in Hot Fuzz. No, I didn't. I just liked where it led to. I didn't like the you could cut 50% of the car chase in Hot Fuzz and still end up with more or less the same.
It's like 30 seconds long. What are you talking about?
It's too long. I don't like car chases.
Okay. Let's maybe not apply that opinion to everything.
No.
Personal.
I mean, yeah.
So Baby Driver really didn't do it for you.
I'll be honest with you. I have not seen Baby Driver yet. I do own it, but I have not yet watched it.
That's rough.
Yeah, I'll get there.
What about the pod race in it? Get out of here. No.
The pod race is like...
It's not a car chase. It's a race. Like, your question nullified the example.
It's also 3 hours long. It's 3 laps. Do 1 lap. You only need 1 lap for the pod race.
In the theater, and I was with 5 friends. I was... What year did the... 99?
99.
Was that
April of 99. No,
I was
June of 99.
Junior in high school. And I'm with all my friends. And I'm watching this movie kind of like... just the whole time. And it gets to this point where, one, I hear Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyway as one of the announcers for the pod race. And he goes, I don't care what planet you're from. That's gotta wait. And I was like, this movie is terrible. I turned to my friends and said this movie is terrible. And they're like, shut up, this is awesome. Because, like, you remember when Phantom Menace came out and there was, like, this period of days where everyone was like, it was great. And then everybody went, no, wait, actually it wasn't. But the pod race really made me mad. Also, people died in it. Like, Anakin kills people, but that's fun.
That's foreshadowing.
That's true. Well, no, because later he just kills a lot of children.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
What? Wait, actually, no.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Oh, then I probably have some stuff I should tell the authorities about. See, the joke there is not funny, so I'm gonna roll away from it. I'm pulling the emergency.
No, go on about murdering children.
No, I'm good. You know what? I think I'm
Work
good.
your way out of this one.
As
you shipwreck yourself.
Those children were war criminals. Am I making this worse? This is getting worse, isn't it? I should probably
the fact you're expending effort trying to do it.
Trying to salvage. Yeah. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pretend it never happened. This stream is not gonna get saved anywhere, right?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not on the channel.
Okay, perfect.
And being streamed live right now.
No one's watching.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was corrected. Do you mean younglings? No, I mean kids. I'm
in last. This is not going to end well for me. Favorite musical?
Baby Driver.
Interesting.
I talk about that in Fate 5. I'll back up that statement.
But you gotta wait till the video drops.
Wait for it.
Yeah. I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it. My favorite.
Did we just go Hamilton?
I did.
Hamilton's a great musical.
Yeah, Hamilton's pretty great. I think my favorite musical that is a movie. I have a soft spot for Beauty and the Beast. I really do. The original, not the one that came out last year that made me sad. Beauty and the Beast has a wonderful soundtrack. Aladdin I loved. Micro Machines I suck at. Oh look, no, I haven't done that race yet.
I like Hunchback of Notre Dame. Does that make me bad?
I don't know that it makes you bad. It's an interesting choice because it was a ballsy choice for Disney to make that movie.
If the marketing campaign had not gone the way it had, I think we would look back on that movie a lot different.
You're probably right. Tell me about the marketing campaign, Mikey.
Actually, if you want to go do a deep dive on all that, type Lindsay Ellis Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, you shared that video on
it's
Twitter,
incredible. It's my favorite video on the internet, like, ever. It's so well done.
I like the one with the two cats kind of chirruping at each other like a couple of old women having a conversation.
The gargoyles are the weakest part. Like,
yeah. The gargoyles, I think, that was Disney's attempt to reproduce the success of some of the more flippant irreverency of Aladdin. It doesn't.
Yeah, well, what Lindsay said in her video is like Jason Alexander improving is not the same as Robin Williams improving.
Yeah.
Which is the same with Danny DeVito trying. I mean, it's just because Danny DeVito was in Hercules.
Yeah. I liked Hercules.
Tarzan is the one I just can't get with.
Question time. Actually, we'll call this a quiz. At what point in the movie does the last song in Milan that is sung by the core cast, what point in the movie is that song sung?
24 minutes into the film.
It is at the halfway mark, but yeah, that was not a bad guess because you get halfway through that movie and it's like Milan forgets it's a musical.
Well, so that's a criticism that was leveled against La La Land. And I talked about it in Fate 5 last year. When they fall in love, they become like so complacent that they don't sing songs anymore.
But that's beautiful. I love that. That
was the point of the film.
Yeah.
They like sacrifice their dreams for love, and it's like you got to choose one.
Yeah.
Which I thought was genius because they break up and it's really sad, and then boom, music.
Yeah. That's so smart. I love it. I suck at this course.
Thanks for turning your phone on to vibrate before.
I had my phone on.
Assuming that wasn't just your Winamp player.
That was a Red Dwarf soundboard that I keep over there that just plays the theme at periodic points.
Frozen also forgets it's a musical for the last half. I think Frozen forgets it's a musical when they have your money.
Frozen,
they make Let It Go happen, and they're like, we're fine.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't like the music in Frozen. I didn't like it. The end.
I thought it was okay.
Tangled was one of those movies where the first time I watched it, I thought, this is not a musical, this is a pop album with a Disney movie wrapped around it. But on subsequent viewings, like some of the song, like the first song is definitely a, hey, look, maybe we can release this as a lead single. But there are some songs in Tangled that really are a lot of fun. Tangled, I think, is a better musical and a better film than Frozen. But Zootopia is probably the best Disney movie of the last 5-10 years, and it's not even a musical. So, suck it, other opinions. That's a really hard line to take. I'm sorry, everyone. You're entitled to believe what you want about whatever you like. Or don't like.
Good. Character select. As a person unable to watch a movie critically beyond that was good or that was bad, how did you get interested in that sort of thing? I've always been interested. It's a natural thing. I don't actually review films like that. I never have. I think that's your mistake, is you try to choose this binary. Just talk about it. Just find what you like in movies and talk about it.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Everything that I came to, like, I decided I was going to talk about the 1998 remake of Psycho in Port Center before I had seen it. I knew it purely by reputation. So
it's a rough one. It's
difficult to watch. I did not go into that thinking I was going to be talking about the techniques that Hitchcock uses in the movie. Like, I didn't think I was going to be going as hard into, I guess, film theory as I went. I thought I was mostly just going to be talking about, look how weird and bad this is. I still kind of have this insecurity about the Psycho episode because I spend 10 minutes talking about what feels to me like probably very basic film school stuff. But I think it's probably the most...
I don't think it was basic.
Okay, well, thank you for that. It's very kind of you to say. I think that the Psycho episode is one of the most critically in-depth episodes of Port Center I've ever done, and it's not about a video game, Paul.
But well, that was the bit was good that it was like a part of the film. But I thought the most astute stuff was when you would look at, like, here's a thing you can talk about. Not you, like Royal, everyone.
Yeah.
Is film framing, and there's so much symbolism and balance to how the frames in Psycho were done originally.
Like it's everything, everything that movie.
And
is
he
showing
didn't understand any of that.
Yeah.
Which is telling.
There's just stuff that gets changed and it's like, again, it's imitation rather than it's emulation rather than anything else. It's just, oh, this is how
he was treating them aesthetically as if if there was, because the thing is, visually in a film there's generally a lot going on. The entire love story of Baby Driver is told visually, so when the script doesn't have anywhere near, and I talk about this in my episode too, Baby Driver, there's a lot of pushback on the agency of his love interest, Deborah, because she doesn't really say a lot. But he doesn't either, because all of Baby's lines are actually just remixed from other conversations and other films. Yeah. He never actually has a line. He never says anything. Their entire love story is communicated visually. But if you're just like, somebody doesn't say anything, therefore it's bad, you're not necessarily looking critically at what is going on. Because a lot of times, if you have a problem with the movie, your first step might be understand why they did that, or understand that maybe it is a little more obfuscated than you believe, if you think something has to be there. Nice run,
I
sir.
did it. It took me 87 tries when I finally came.
You beat the game. That was it. Last level done.
Woo! We are at the 1 hour 18 mark, so we're probably going to wrap it up in the next 10-ish minutes. Did we discuss what we were going to do next week?
No. What do you want? Yeah, that just came in from Jane Enderton. What are you playing next week?
There's a question. Why are you asking? Oh, there's 3 characters I can choose from. I'm going to throw Mike in there because that seems like the way to go. He looks just like you, by the way. It's uncanny. He even does the thing with the glasses. Oh, we're on the helicopter level. This is how I beef it. All right, save state. I pitched something earlier and I cannot remember what it was.
I can't either.
Yeah, this is
we're the helicopter. We're definitely on our last level. We got to like the 3rd helicopter stage, I believe, though, on NES.
Yeah. Oh man, these branches are unforgiving once you get stuck on.
Oh yeah, they bounce you. They bounce you bad, and the AI is having the same problem.
Yeah, if your AI is struggling, there's something wrong. Or something wrong, but it's not the thing. We got the recommendation of something from the SNES Mini, which can be anything if you think about it. Critically.
I have an SNES Mini right here.
That's the American one, which makes sense. I paid too much money to get a European one because I figure if I'm gonna get a device that is designed to tickle the nostalgia, it should tickle mine.
Sure.
But I'm not ashamed of that. I like it. And I like having my multicolored Super Nintendo buttons. My baby's first Super Nintendo controller.
Famicom.
Do we want to do? We haven't done anything on the NES yet.
Really?
We haven't done anything. I got it. NES Micro Machines.
No. Okay. Micro Machines ends in the same place, and as it turns out, it's this level.
Yes.
Was there any late stage? And I know there was. I'm asking, for example, that was a Super Nintendo game that was ported down, like sort of at the end.
Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt.
Oh.
But the NES version is just the original Addams Family game,
which you covered in your episode. Also, I don't think that's gonna pull in the viewers.
No, we wanna go for those big bucks. What is current? What is in? What's now? What's hip?
Psycho Pinball on the Mega Drive. Wow.
DuckTales.
Ooh.
Which, oh, by the way, I've never finished DuckTales because I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's not that hard. I beat it when I was a kid. Do you want to do DuckTales? We can do DuckTales.
We can do DuckTales. Which version? Oh, I guess with the original.
Ooh, you watch the Monster Trunk level. Okay, definitely the last level.
Double Dragon's an option. I know, I said Super Star Wars.
So when Double Dragon comes up, I immediately think about Double Dragon 3 and that thing from God, it was an old Angry Video Game Nerd episode where he was playing 3. The title screen of that game misspells Billy. Because it's Billy and Jimmy. The title screen, the first screen of the game on the track screen, Bimmy and Jimmy. They shipped Bimmy and Jimmy.
It went to, I can't do this anymore.
Oh yeah,
this is worse. This is really bad to do on the Game Boy. It's because you just get immediately skidded off. Let's see if it's possible there. No, you can't even like tap it through.
Do you remember NES TMNT Tournament Fighters?
I remember the Super NES version.
Yeah, there was an NES version. It was ported down. Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's pretty bad. It's not worth doing an episode on because there's no way we can actually play it for the amount of time we need to.
NES, I think NES is good. We haven't done any. Master System also. Alex Kidd in the Miracle World might be a good one.
Yeah, again, we want something people will click.
Will click.
A boy in his ball.
Mario Kart.
NES Mario Kart. Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
I'm sure there's a demake somewhere.
Oh yeah, I wonder if someone's done like a ROM hack of something else that is like NES Mario Kart. I mean, anything Mario is really good. That's kind of evergreen. I know that there's a Sega Mega Drive port of Super Mario Brothers.
That's weird.
Yeah. It plays quite well, actually. If it weren't for the weird color palette and the music, you wouldn't know it wasn't the NES version.
Did you ever play Foxanadu or Chrysalis or any of those like sort of side-scroller top-down RPG action games?
None of those games sound familiar.
If you gave me a sword and told me to save a princess, it was kind of my thing.
All right. You know, we haven't touched any old MS-DOS games.
True.
Like Star Wars Dark Forces, for example.
Oh, absolutely.
I have
absolutely. Then let's do that. Let's do Dark Forces. That's a great one. All right. So next week we're gonna play Dark Forces.
Star Wars Or do we want to do Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2?
No. One.
We'll do the first one. That was the only one that got released. What other than the? It's Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 is the only one that didn't also get a console release, but Dark Forces got a release on the PS1 as well. And I think
we need to voice all the cutscenes.
Yes. Oh God, yes.
We'll just assign characters on the fly.
Yes. That sounds
all right.
That sounds like a good stream. I'm on board.
I think that'll do it for us.
Yeah. I want to see if I can finish this course because this is a long one though.
Yeah. No.
All right. Let's just call it.
I think we're gonna call it. All right. Next week we'll see you for Dark Forces. Thanks everybody for watching. Tell all your friends about the Antiquing Hour. It's pretty good.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.